this is the next thing that's going to be hit in the US. Rather than a traditional escape room where you're stuck in one room for an hour, we tried to do something a little bit different where you try to do as many rooms as you can in an hour or 2 hours.
If you can conceptualize what Recess for Adults looks like, that's what Mismatch is.
Mismatch Adventures, guys. Go check it out.
Located in Fox Valley Mall in Aurora, Illinois. What's up, guys? Welcome back to YBI, where we discuss opinions and strategies on how to better your financial selves. It is Zion and Roman here. You guys know what's up. I'm at home in my lounge wear with my feet up and some tea. So we just gonna talk.
In my office. Just
Yeah, we just gonna talk. We just gonna talk today.
Chop it up.
Today, Roman came with an idea that I was like, yeah, let's get into it. We wanted to talk about cash. Before it was always that cash is king, right? Like we've all heard that cash is king, but for some reason it is card is king at this point. With all the statistics and things that we've seen, even from a recent poll that we did on all of our different social medias, we have seen that cash is no longer the move per se. Obviously, having cash and debit card is one thing, but a lot of people have shifted to credit cards and credit card spending, all of those things. So we wanna hop into that and see what's really happening.
Yeah, I noticed it myself, and they're going through the Reddit hole and everything. This shift I've kind of seen from cash being king to now being card, almost being completely digital as king. And it definitely, of course, got pushed by the pandemic when no one really wanted to transfer cash because of services. But that I feel like that rushed the growth to it, or pushed it faster. Have we seen just the growth to almost a lot of things going more digital, retail and everything else like that, just basically from COVID. And then I decided I was like, yeah, after I read a lot of these articles, I was like, okay, let's do an Instagram poll. Let's see if we can do it in our own, followers and friends and family about what it would be. And it was close to the same numbers we pulled up. And I thought that was real interesting for a little just financial math. You're like, are these statistics we pull up actually real? And then you do your own little test and find out that it's pretty close. I am
Yeah.
also one of the people that really believes in cash is king. And even myself recently, I've kind of changed my lifestyle to go more digital and kind of almost see how that kind of goes. Because I used to be, especially being a bartender, it was always cash is king. You always had cash on you. So it was like, of course, I'm using cash for everything. But now I've switched to go carrying around more cash. And now I got like one of them like little thin, slim wallets that push up and your cards stick out. And I've been rocking this for the last couple of weeks and like it. So I don't know. We're weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this really coincides with what we were talking about a couple episodes ago with Bitcoin and everything, how things were shifting because it was cash. Cash was the thing. And before cash, it was what? Bartering goods and services, things like that. So we shifted away from that and we shifted to paper money. And now we're seeing the dynamic of shifting from paper money to digital money, Bitcoin, credit cards, all of those things. Having plastic on you at all times is a must, apparently. So some of the statistics, did you want to pull up the page or you just want to kind of go over some of these?
Actually, no, yeah, let's go ahead. So we found this, we found a couple articles. One was from 2020, one was from 2021 with some updated statistics from fundera.com. We're going to share it with you all and put a link down below, of course. So you guys just check this out.
But
Bam. Can you see it? Is it there?
we can see it.
Bet.
I think that some of these are like, like you said, it coincides with the poll that we did on our page where 80% preferred card payments over cash. That was pretty standard. I myself took part in the poll and I was like, oh, huh. Yeah, I actually don't use cash.
Yeah.
We talk about it. We talk about, the necessity to have cash and to use cash. But then when I actually was looking at the poll, I was like, I don't even use cash like that. Like I have some, but I just don't really use it like that.
And there was one on here too that was talking about, the average transactions people kind of do with that. And some people might, keep some cash on you in case of like tipping someone or going to the barbershop. You want to pay with that in cash, which makes sense, especially in those industries. There's normal cash industries. But, even now, my barbershop, I can book an appointment online and reserve
Right.
my credit card and pay right then and there. Or if I even don't want to pay in store, my loctician already has my card data saved in their system, so they can just say, you want to pay cash or card? If I say card, he can just do it right then and there, and I can tip on the card. So it's a whole new world.
Literally 2 years ago, I went to the barber shop and they didn't accept cash. I mean, they didn't accept card. And I was like, what? Like, because, going to a barber shop, that's their livelihood. And it oftentimes is just strictly cash. Now, like you said, my barber does the exact same thing. You book on an app, you pay on the app, you can tip on the app, and there's no cash transaction. But literally, this was 2 years ago. So I'm not talking about, back in the old days. I mean, like 2 years ago, like 2019, 2018, those timeframes. And I was like, it's crazy to see. Obviously, we're living in history with everything that's going on, but we're
It's that
living in a
push.
shift.
It's the
You know what I'm saying?
lifestyle
Like,
push. This
yeah,
pandemic has accelerated a lot of growth and change and destruction of some industries in some way, but it's done some shifts, and we're seeing those trends happen in live time throughout our own lives. So definitely living through history. It's interesting, to say the least.
yeah. One of the statistics that really stood out to me was number 9. Number 9 says debit cards account for 67% of card payments. This was massive for me because that means that there's like 34% of people that are using credit cards to pay for credit cards.
Well, if we look at statistic number 2, it's 76 consumers have at least one credit card.
Hmm.
And it's just saying, like, everyone in America's built kind of off of debt. Everyone kind of has it, everyone uses it as a tool. And we've talked about credit on this channel several times, and how you can use it as a tool and how it should be used, and not to overuse it and keep your utilization low and paying on time and things like that. So it's not, it could be a great tool. I had listened to everyone wants cash back and things like that, but even as cash value kind of goes down, some people are looking at new forms of cash back in the form of cryptocurrency, where you actually are getting an asset that could go up and down depending on what you buy. So it's a interesting field in that. I keep throwing in
Yeah.
tangents.
No, I mean that makes perfect sense. I think I read that point differently than you did. I was reading it as debit cards account for
Well,
67% of the payments. Like when you make your payment, are you using your debit card or a credit card to pay for the credit card? And I was like, can you even use a credit card to pay for a
no,
credit card? I was like,
no.
wait, this doesn't make any sense.
No, that
That's why it was
you could.
shocking.
Well,
So
that's a balance transfer. But
yeah,
I think what that meant is, because a lot of people, because think how many people in the world who still you have a debit card but don't, they either can't get a credit card because
yeah,
their
I got
credit's
you
too
now. I
bad,
got you now.
or so
Yeah.
like those are those people. So out of all credit or card payments, most of them are going to be debit, because most people don't want to put everything on a credit card when a debit card is pretty much
It's still
cash.
cash. It's
It's
still
cash.
in
Like
quote
it's
cash.
linked to your direct, checking account, where that's your cash. So it is cash. It's not like a digital number that's just made up. So yeah, I think that's why debit cards have such a high role, because people still don't really want to use credit cards that much, or if especially if you're just buying groceries or something small, you might just want to pay with cash or with the debit card instead of putting that on a credit card.
Yeah. I mean, and then down at number 15, it says 51% of card users say high interest rates were the most significant drawback of credit card use. Definitely makes sense. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Getting looped into, having super high interest is just because you're not paying the minimum balance or your entire card off one time. So getting that paid off one time, getting it back to zero, one is an excellent feeling. It's a great feeling to feel accomplished. I've spent $4,000, but I got it all paid off by the end of the month. That type of situation always feels fantastic, but then you won't have to worry about the high interest rates. But again, there's not a ton of people that are doing that. It says 45% of credit card holders pay off their spending each month, which was number 14. So it just goes to show
Which is
that a
almost
lot of
half. Which
yeah,
is
it's
almost
almost
half.
half. It's almost half. So
And that's
it's
going to
that means that
say,
half of people aren't. That means that half
yeah.
half of the people are having to deal with the high credit, high
And
interest rates. So
you do see a lot of people, or a lot of credit cards that have the no APR times where
mhm.
you don't pay zero interest for 6 months. So in those cases, yeah, you might pay it off at the end of the month, but you might take 3 or 4 months because you're not getting interest. If you're not accruing
Mhm.
any interest and you have some time frame, spread them out, but always pay off them balances as soon as possible. Get it right back, because if you can get 5% direct as cash back and you're gonna pay it off next month anyway, why not? but pay it off. Already, that money is already set aside to pay that credit card. Some banks let you pay it right then and there. As soon as you swipe it, you can go ahead and make the payment.
Yeah.
Keep it tight.
Yeah. I think that that's, that's really important for people to be able to do. If you're going to utilize the tool of credit cards, utilize it as a tool. Don't use it as a crutch. So it's those are very different mentalities. I think that that goes back to the broke versus poor episode that we did a long, long time ago. But it's the different mentalities. The crutch versus a tool is just a mindset and understanding. Hey, I'm going to use this, but I'm going to get it paid off before it uses me at the end of the day, because the banks are at the end of the day staying open and paying all of their CEOs multi-millions of dollars because of high
Stock
interest rates.
buybacks.
I mean, that's all that it is. So I
One of
think
these
that,
statistics that shocked me a lot was 17. It was the simple fact that 41% of credit card users have a retail store specific card. I found that to be kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, at least in my experience, every time I go to a store and they're like, "Hey, at the register, do you want to sign up for this Target credit card and get whatever?"
mm,
I'm like, no. And I feel like, well, I don't know, most people, I guess, half or at least 4 out of 10 people say yes. That's interesting.
yeah, I mean, I have a couple credit cards, but they're for places that I frequent often. So like Best Buy, I go to Best Buy all the time. I like getting tech, I like new stuff. So I'm always in Best Buy. So I was like, it makes sense for me to get some of the money back with 0% APR, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that that's worth it. But I don't have the typical Macy's and, Home Depot. I skipped all those. If it's a place that I use a lot, and it's not just one that I only have to use there, because there are some that are like, yeah, if you get it for, Walmart, you can only use it at Walmart. Nah, this is one that you can use everywhere. So I think that
Yeah.
that's the benefit, but it's, again, you having to look into what you're doing before you do it. Don't just do it because they're like, well, you can get 0% APR for 6 months. Yeah,
Read
but
them
at the
terms
same
and
time,
conditions. Read the terms and
yeah,
conditions.
absolutely. Which I guess leads to a different question. For you, which would you choose? Because they say I had a card that was like 0% APR for 6 months, or like 6% cash back.
I usually say in those cases, and that's even at my store now because we offer finance and on like some of the computer sales. It's on the what are you going to do the next month? If you already walked in here today or look at that purchase time saying I had the money right there already in my account to pay for it all, the 5% back instantly, because you'll get
Mhm.
that card and you'll pay it off right then and there, and then you get the 5% off. You basically are almost getting, if it is instant 5% off and you get cash back, even better. If it's cash back, you get the money back and you can use it for something else. Or if you don't have all the money right then and there, then you might want to do the payments, but make sure it's something that you can afford or something you can pay off early. If you can only afford a $120 a month payment, make sure that's what it is and something that you can maybe even pay off early. You got to be smart in how you're going to use those things, and make sure the credit card maybe is open to shopping at different places, like you said, and not just at one store. Because if that 5% cash back is only good at Macy's, but well, and yeah, Macy's sells a lot of stuff, but you might want to
How
use
many
it for
comforters do you really need?
exactly,
Like,
exactly. Like you might want to use that on something else or towards anything else. So if it can go to different things, even better. So I usually say, look at the purchase. If you're buying it all right then and there, and it can suit you to get money back, do it. If you went in there looking to spend 500, but what you really need is 800, so you got to finance it. Or in that case, even depending on what the minimum purchase is, still pay that amount in cash. If you walked in there willing to spend 500, but you had to spend 800 to get what you needed, put that $500 right down and only finance the 350. And that way, if it's still 6 months, that cut your payment down a whole lot, and your payment is a lot lower. Do it like that. Or if
absolutely.
that, look at it and strategize it. And hopefully, if it's with a salesperson or you're looking at it yourself, look at both options. They're not going to rush you. They gonna want the sale either way. So take your time, go through it, and figure out what's the best option for you. Because at the end of the day, it's your money. Use it how
Yes,
you
sir.
need it.
I mean, that's exactly where I was at. I just didn't want to say it. I just wanted him to go ahead and hop in there. Um, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that our sterling statement for the day would pretty much be that cash is kinda king. Cash is kinda
It
king
it
at the end
depends
of
on
the
who
day.
you talk to. It's definitely we see the trend going more digital and more card based, and it's an interesting time to see it. Is cash still king? I guess so. You know, you walk into a
Yeah,
real estate agent and you're like, I got 100,000 right here in cash. They're gonna be like, okay, what you want? Or a car dealership. But yeah, so is a kind of similar thing if you go to a real estate agent and say you got 20% down and a 720 credit score. They
yeah. All that we know at the end of the day is that nobody uses checks anymore. Stop asking me for checks. Like, don't nobody use checks anymore.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Like when you apply for a new job and they're like, yeah, we need a check. I'm like, but do you though? Like, do you really? Like, so
All that should be
cash may
online,
not be
direct
king,
deposit.
but checks still suck. So banks need to catch up.
On a tangent, I did see for I did see at lower income households, still most of the transactions are done with cash payments just because you're going paycheck to paycheck and doing things of that nature. So and sometimes you will see, but we from everything else, the median ground, you're still using mostly a debit card or direct cash.
Absolutely. Um, I kind of want to wrap up that, but do a check-in. So at the beginning of the year, we gave you guys a challenge to do a savings challenge. I kind of just wanted to check in with you guys on where you were at with the challenge. I know I did a couple of different things, and at the beginning of the year, just started saving. You know, one of the different ways that we had discussed. Let me actually check because I believe that I'm at $200. Um, and I just want to see where you guys are at. You know,
Yeah.
with we're a couple weeks into the year, and I wanted to start a different savings account. This one started at zero, but I was like, what can I do this year to really up it? So I'm not at 200. I'm at $124.55. So,
You doing are you
but
in
yeah,
that I know you saw about doing the nickel doubling one.
kind of, sort of. I'm doing that one, but I added a percentage of each check just to go to this account as well. So I wanted to do more than just something simple, but I also wanted to see where people feel like, well, I don't have enough money, and yeah, all of that. I feel you. Um, if you don't see it, you don't miss it. So what I did was on my W-4, I just added an additional account. So now there's like 4% of each check is automatically going to go to this account. Um, in addition to me doing, I think it's the nickel plan. It's automatic. I just automated everything. So I
Nice.
just wanted to check in and have you guys aware that I'm also doing the savings plan with you guys. We will keep you up to date on how much we're able to save. I'll tell you if I spend some of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. But
Yeah.
nah, we're going strong for now.
I'm doing a $10 a day one. I switched from the nickel just to do $10 a day because I looked at both and I was like, well, the $10 a day gives you a roughly around the same amount towards the end of the year. I think it's like $300 more. But I was like, let me just try that one out because you were doing the nickel one. So I was like, let me just do this one and try that out. And also
Sure.
the normal 52 week where you go like $1, $2, $3 and down the field,
Hmm.
the snowball. Trying that one out too. I do that one every year anyway. So just continuing on that, and both are on track, still going strong. Haven't changed anything up. Like Zion said, if you can do for your direct deposit, it's a great tip. Pay yourself first. Have 10%, have 4%, whatever percentage you want, go directly into a savings account. And there you go. You just paid yourself first, and you won't even notice.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I mean, it was easy. If you don't see it, you don't miss it, and I think that's the best thing. So every couple of videos, we'll probably check in and let you guys know where we're at with our savings plan. Continue to be inspired to just do more for yourself, invest in yourself, like we said in our last episode. I want to say, do that at the beginning of the year. We were talking about just investing in yourself and doing more for you this year. So that's where we're at with that. But I'm done talking. Um,
Same. I just did the same thing you did.
yeah,
Wakanda forever.
yeah. Let's go. Let's go. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna relax. See, we get to be at home, and now it's different. It's different. You get to see a different side. I'm in my loungewear. I
I've
got these
always been at
Adidas
home.
pants on. Yeah. I try to do mix it up a little bit, but um,
We're also
that's gonna
we're gonna
wrap it up.
start
Oh.
Sorry, little announcement real quick. We're gonna wrap it up after this. Sorry, I'm starting a Discord channel here soon for us where I'll be in there as a moderator, as I may be sometimes in there too, where you can just chat with us too about different strategies and different like finances and just whatever's going on in
Discord.
there. A Discord. So Discord is like
We
a
need to get on
popular chat
Clubhouse
forum.
too.
Yep, and then we'll be on there
We need to
with
be
you
on
guys,
Clubhouse.
and so we could chat with you guys live times in there too. But all right, guys, peace. We love you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. As you already know, we may be young, we may be broke, but we are always investing. Peace.
Till next time, guys. Peace.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to Young Broke and Investing. We just want to let you know that these are the opinions of the host, are not meant to be the basis of any security purchases or investments. We're trying to give a little information out there for everybody, and have fun and be safe.